My husband said that I am nothing without him. I showed him that it was the other way around. My husband Derek said I was nothing without him during an argument about me going back to work after 8 years of raising our kids. He said I'd been out of the workforce too long, nobody would hire someone with my gap in employment, and I should be grateful he made enough money that I could stay home and play house. He actually said play house about raising his 3 children, managing his household, and handling every aspect of his life outside the office. He said without his salary, his connections, his status, I'd be some nobody with no skills trying to get a minimum wage job. He said I should thank him daily for the life he gave me, because I'd contributed nothing of value to our marriage except birthing his children, which any woman could do. I asked if he really believed I was nothing without him, and he said it was just facts, that I'd been living off his success for nearly a decade and wouldn't survive a week without his support. He said the house was in his name, the cars were in his name, the bank accounts were his, and I existed because he allowed it. That night, I started planning his education. Derek was an executive at a consulting firm and constantly bragged about his presentations, his client relationships, and his ability to close deals. What he never mentioned was that I wrote every presentation he'd given for the last 8 years. I edited every email to important clients. I planned every business dinner at our home. I reminded him of every meeting, every birthday, every client's spouse's name. I packed his bags for trips with the right clothes for each event. I made sure he had backup phone chargers, the right adapters, and printouts of everything because he couldn't work his laptop properly. I sent gift baskets to clients' families when appropriate. I tracked his expenses and filed his reports because numbers confused him. I even logged into his work system at night to submit things he'd forgotten. Derek had no idea how much I did because I'd made it invisible, seamless, like he was just naturally that organized. Next Monday, I will stop doing everything. Derek woke up to no coffee made, no clothes laid out, and no lunch packed. He asked where his lucky tie was for his big presentation, and I said I didn't know. Maybe he should keep track of his own things. He laughed nervously and found a different tie. He grabbed his laptop bag and left, not realizing I hadn't charged his devices or put his presentation on the USB drives he always needed as backup. He also didn't notice I'd changed the password on the cloud storage where all his materials were saved, the account I'd set up and managed because he couldn't figure out two-factor authentication. Derek called me at 10, panicking because his presentation wasn't on his laptop. I said that sounded like his problem to solve. He asked for the backup USB, and I said I didn't know what he was talking about. He tried to log into the cloud account but couldn't. He had to present from memory, which meant he had nothing because I'd always prepared everything. His boss called it the worst presentation he'd ever seen and asked if Derek was having a stroke. The client walked out halfway through. That evening, Derek came home demanding to know what I'd done. I said I'd done nothing, which was exactly what he said I was, so it shouldn't matter. He said I was sabotaging him, and I said, how could nothing sabotage something? He tried to fix things himself, but didn't know any passwords, didn't have any client contact information saved anywhere he could access, and didn't even know his own calendar because I'd always managed it. Tuesday, he missed 3 meetings because I didn't remind him. On Wednesday, he showed up to a client dinner in jeans because I hadn't told him it was formal. Thursday, he forgot his biggest client's name and called him the wrong name during the meeting. Friday, his boss pulled him aside and asked if he was having personal problems because he'd become completely incompetent overnight. Derek begged me to help him, and I said he'd told me I contributed nothing, so my help shouldn't be necessary. The next week was worse. Full story on channel. Link below.